Hello friends and welcome to Average Classes. So today's topic is going to be again very interesting, that is your cavitation. Okay, but before going to the topic I want to tell you something about the cavitation, like why we are studying this cavitation and how this cavitation gained more and more attention to all the engineers of the world. Okay, so let's start. So around 1754, your Leonhard Euler, I am sure you must have heard about him, Euler or Euler, but however you pronounce. So around 1754, Leonhard Euler first mentioned the word he first mentioned about cavitation. Okay. Then around 1876, I am not sure about this date, around 1872 to 1894. Okay, but I think around 1876. Okay, your Osborne Renault. What he did, he presented about the effect of cavitation. Okay. Mainly he was presenting about racing of your propeller. Racing of propeller propulsion. So he was presenting a paper on racing of propeller, and he was explaining the effect of cavitation inside it. Okay, now here comes the interesting sir. So around 1884. Okay, your Sir Charles Pearson. Sir Charles Pearson, around 1884, he had successfully developed a steam turbine. Later, after that, he was trying to integrate or to apply the steam turbine into a marine propulsion. Okay, that means he wanted to develop a marine turbine. He wanted to use the turbine to generate power, okay, which can drive a ship. So he got a contract, or he was given a work, or he was in charge of developing a ship. The ship name was also very interesting. It's Turbina. What is the name of the ship? The name of the ship was what? Turbina. So he was designing and he was in charge of developing or creating or developing this ship. Okay. So he has designed the ship at a speed of how much? 30 knots. He has designed the ship Turbina. What is the name of the ship? Turbina. In fact, Turbina was the first major coal-based steam power plant in a ship. Okay, coal-based steam turbine. Okay, in a ship they have used. Turbina was the first ship, okay, to have a steam turbine or steam-based power plant. Okay. So it was the first major coal-based steam turbine or steam power plant in a ship. Okay, isn't it interesting? It is interesting. Okay, so it was designed for how much? 30 knots. So around 1894, okay, let me just erase this too if you are comfortable with this. So around 1894, what happened? This Turbina ship, which ship? Turbina. Around 1894, they went for his first run. In the first run, they found the speed of the ship to be how much? They designed it for 30 knots. But they got how much? Only 17 knots. So this is one more unit. 1 knot is equal to 1.85 kilometer per hour. Okay? 1.85 kilometer per hour. So, when they did the first run at around 1894, how much they got? They got the speed around 17 knots only. It was very disappointment for the engineer. Okay, for Sir Charles Pearson, it was very disappointment for him, because he designed for 30 knots, but actually it is giving only 17 knots. So what he did? He did further investigation. Upon further investigation, he found propeller cavitation. What he found? Propeller cavitation. Okay. On investigation, he found propeller cavitation. So what he did? He came up with a arrangement of propellers. What he did? He connected three axial flow turbines to three shafts. What he connected? He connected three axial flow turbines to three shafts, which has three propellers each. Means he connected three axial flow turbine to three shafts, and each shaft has three propellers. Means what is the total propellers? What is? I am again increasing this. So what is the total number of propellers we got? 9. So number of propellers how much? Number of propellers becomes how much? 9. Now he again started the test, and around 1897 they achieved a speed of how much? 32.75 knots. Isn't it interesting? That means the ship was performing much better than the design. What was the design speed? Design speed was 30 knots only. Design speed is how much? Design speed was 30 knots only. But they achieved around a speed of 32.75, which later they achieved 34 knots also, maximum speed they achieved. During that time, this was the fastest ship. 34 knots is roughly equivalent to 63 km per hour. It's roughly equivalent to 63 km per hour. Isn't it interesting? So he came to know that there was something known as cavitation. So he wanted to further study the cavitation, as cavitation has made a huge role, or actually huge role in decreasing the speed. It played a huge role in decreasing the speed. So he decided cavitation need to be studied more. Hence he made world's first cavitation tunnel. He made world's first cavitation tunnel. On that he did so much of experiment. The propeller dia from 2 inch to later 22 inch dia propellers he started testing, and after that entire world, all the engineers, they started taking cavitation much seriously, and they started study about this cavitation. It has lot of what application means you have to avoid the cavitation. Cavitation doesn't have any application. You have to avoid in applications you have to avoid cavitation. Understood? समझ में आ गया? Isn't it interesting? Okay, why we are studying cavitation? See the story how it unrolled. Okay, so in India also we have cavitation tunnel. If you visit to IISc Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, we have a cavitation tunnel. So how we can visit? See, IISc Bangalore every year conducts a open day. The open day means IISc is open to the people. So every science enthusiast can go during the open days of IISc. Normally it will be every year in February. Okay, you can just visit IISc and you can know what are the state of the work, the research what we are doing there. Okay, isn't it interesting about this, how we are studying more about this cavitation? Correct? Got it? So Sir Charles Patterson, his experiment, and then we started studying about cavitation. So with this motivation, today we are going to start the topic cavitation. Okay? So again, hello friends. If till you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, share and subscribe. So cavitation is a phenomena. Cavitation is a what? Sir, cavitation is a phenomena. It's a low pressure phenomena. Cavitation is a low pressure phenomenon. Okay, so cavitation is a phenomenon, you got it. Very, very, very good. So which property of the fluid is responsible for the cavitation phenomenon? Vapor pressure. Which property? vapor pressure is responsible for the cavitation phenomena. Hence, we will be studying about vapor pressure first. Then I'll tell you what is this cavitation is. Okay, if you want to define cavitation may be defined as a rapid formation and collapse of vapor bubbles. These vapor bubbles must be of two. Number one, what sir? What are the two vapor bubbles? Why you are writing? One who are developed because of phase change. One which has developed because of the phase change. Second will be there will be some dissolved gases. There will be some dissolved gases. Okay. So cavitation, rapid formation and collapse of vapor bubbles in liquid, which we will be studying about cavitation after vapor pressure. After knowing vapor pressure, and vapor pressure is a very, very interesting topic. So let's start with vapor pressure. Okay. So, sir, what is vapor pressure? Your doubts will be clear. Before that, you need to understand some concepts. Okay, you need to clear some theory, some concepts. थोड़ा theory पढ़ना पड़ेगा हमें. Okay, so first we'll be writing boiling vapor pressure and giving heading, because now we'll be studying vapor pressure. In the vapor pressure, first thing we'll study is boiling. Now, can anyone tell me what is boiling? What is boiling? Boiling is when a water, boiling is when a liquid starts forming bubbles inside. Okay, starts forming bubbles inside. What is boiling? Boiling is when a liquid starts forming bubbles inside it. That we call what? Boiling. These bubbles they are a factor of two things. One, increase in temperature. Two, decrease in pressure. One is increasing in temperature, two, decrease in pressure. You might be aware of increasing temperature. You take a container, heat it. You know that at certain points there will be bubble formations. That's water is boiling. We know the concept of temperature, but we don't know the concept of pressure. But before that, you need to understand what is boiling condition. So let's we'll take the temperature aspect. First we'll take the temperature aspects, but I'll come slowly, one by one. Okay. Let me take a container. And what I am doing? I am filling the container with water. What I am filling the container with? I am filling the container with water. Last class in surface tension, we have studied the surface of the liquid possesses more energy. The surface of the liquid possesses more energy compared to the bulk property of the liquid. Okay. So what happens when it has more energy? When it has more energy, it vibrates. Okay. When it has more energy, what it does? See, this is a molecule, this is one more molecule, this is another molecule, this is another molecule. They are bonded with each other. Now you have given energy, or let us say they have more energy. More energy means what? They will vibrate. Zumba, zumba, zoom, zoom, zumba, zumba, zoom, zoom. So they are what they are doing? They are vibrating. Because they are vibrating, so they will break the bond. Once they have more energy, so they will try to escape. Means they will try to break the bonds. When they try to break the bond, they enter into the gaseous state or vapor. They form vapor. They will enter into the gaseous state. They will form vapor. So these molecules on the surface are continuously trying to escape. They are trying to escape. Why? Because they have more energy. Sir, you are totally saying wrong. How can you say what is the temperature of the liquid? Sir, temperature of the liquid, let us say room temperature, 24 degrees Celsius. Okay? The temperature, let us say 24 degrees Celsius. We have to what? Room temperature हमने ले लिया. But sir, room temperature में no way it will form vapor. Why? Why it won't form vapor? Doubt आ गया? When I am saying it will form vapor and it will go you might get a doubt कि sir we know कि water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. I am not denying that. I am not saying कि water is not boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. Even I am telling कि water boils at 90 degrees 100 degrees Celsius in around atmospheric pressure only. You understood the point? Here I am talking about vaporization. Here I am talking about vaporization. Water will evaporate and will go. You need to understand the difference between your vaporization and boiling. They are not same. Vaporization and boiling, they are not same. Vaporization में ये vapor बनता है. It evaporates. It evaporates. It's a gas kind of a thing. Boiling में it forms bubble. Bubble formation is compulsory. In boiling, bubble formation is compulsory. Sir, we still didn't understand. Please explain what is this vaporization, evaporate, what you are telling. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, you have washed clothes. You have washed clothes. Clothes you are drying. ठीक है ना? You have washed the clothes and clothes you are drying. How you will dry? Where you will dry? Sir, we dry normally under sun. Very good. Fantastic. You dry normally under sun. Then what you do? Sir, we also switches on the fan. We also switch on the fan and dry our clothes. Okay, fan. Correct. You switch on the fan and you dry the clothes. Or if the wind is more, it's blowing, your clothes are drying correctly. Correct na? Yes or no? समझ गए? That's the reason. If you might have found, if suppose your clothes are wet, you switch on the fan and you come after some time, your clothes are dry. Correct. Next, what you do? Sir, in winter, the clothes dry faster than rainy season. Because in winter, the humidity is less. So you can use, that's why you can use air conditioning also. You can use air conditioning. So that less humidity, that you will read in your RSC subject of course. But when the humidity is less, that means the surrounding air can take more and more moisture. You understood? When it is saturated, in rainy season it is saturated. So it cannot take more and more water molecules. So that's why your wet cloth will take lot of time to dry. So these all concepts are, have you increased it to the boiling level? Have you given 100 degrees Celsius here? No, na. Your atmosphere only, these all things are happening, correct or not? Yes or no? So that's why boiling is different from evaporation. Remember, don't get confused. Means if you increase the temperature, what will happen? Sun means what? More temperature. If you increase the temperature, the gases are evaporating faster. I am not talking about boiling. I am talking about evaporation. The gases, boiling means bubble will form. It will come. Okay. So, when the temperature is more, under the sun you are drying the cloth. Means when the temperature is more, the evaporation is faster. Similarly, when you are using, means what you gave of energy. What form of energy you gave? You gave energy in the form of heat. Energy in the form of heat. Here the energy in the form of wind you gave by switching on the fan. Means you are providing extra energy to the liquid which is present in your clothes, wet clothes. So they will evaporate. They are going to evaporate. You understood the point now? So when I am telling the surface of the liquid is evaporating even if at 24 degrees Celsius, that means it's correct, it's not wrong. Okay, even if there is a room temperature, surface molecules have more energy compared to the bulk molecules. Hence, their bonds will try to break and they will try to go away from each other and they will try to escape. So where they will escape? On the immediate available area. So they will try to escape. Are you getting my point now? So I try to make a difference between vaporization and boiling. That's what I try to do. ठीक है? समझ में आ गया? Now we'll concentrate here. Okay. Let's concentrate here now. So let me erase this. So what happened? So you took a container. Your container, let us say that in container, then in a container you took a liquid, and let us say your liquid is at 24 degrees Celsius. Let us say your liquid is at 24 degrees Celsius. Surface molecules have more energy compared to bulk molecule. That's why they are vaporizing. That's why they are evaporating to the air. Understood? Okay. Now they are trying to escape the air. But what happens? The air which is present here, is opposing the movement. The air which is present here is opposing the movement. Why? Pressure. इसके पास pressure. What pressure? Atmospheric pressure. What pressure it has? It has atmospheric pressure. For the time being, remember the atmospheric pressure is nothing but 101.325 kilopascal or 101.325 pascal or 1.01325 bar. We'll study in our module chapter 2. Okay, the detailed study we'll do in chapter 2. Okay. So now, which is opposing? Sir, atmospheric air is opposing. Atmospheric air is opposing the movement of the water molecules from the surface. ठीक है? This much you understood? That means if the surface molecules have to evaporate, they have to overcome this PATM, atmospheric pressure. They have to overcome the atmospheric pressure. ठीक है? Once this surface molecules forms vapor, then the bulk molecules turn will come. Then only bulk molecules turn will come. So what? Once the surface molecules has gone, then the bulk molecule which is inside this, they will try to go up. They will try to go up. Means what? Once they form vapor, then they will form bubble. This only we call it as boiling condition. This only what we call it as boiling condition. So what is the boiling condition? What we understood by the boiling condition? Sir, water surface molecules are trying to escape. They are trying to evaporate. वो ऊपर जा रहे हैं. But air molecules are opposing them by atmospheric pressure. With the help of atmospheric pressure, they are pressurizing it. Means they are resisting the movement. Okay, but we know once these molecules will escape, then your bulk molecules turn will come. Then after the bulk molecules also will try to move, go away and away. That means they'll form vapor. If you continue that, they'll form bubble. So bulk molecules will what they'll form? What the bulk molecules will form? Sir, bulk molecules will form bubble. So that condition only we call it as a boiling condition. Okay, but in order to reach the boiling condition, what is the primary objective? The primary objective is to overcome the atmospheric pressure. The primary objective is to overcome the atmospheric pressure. Are you with me? Yes or no? समझ में आ रहा है? Boiling condition occurs when the bulk molecules will start forming bubble. When the bulk molecules will start forming bubble, when they will evaporate or vaporization होने के बाद, when they will vaporization or evaporate, when the surface molecules will evaporate. When the surface molecule will evaporate, when they will overcome the resistance pressure exerted by this atmospheric pressure. Correct. So, but at 24 degrees Celsius, these surface molecules does not have the energy. Okay, they do not have the energy to overcome atmospheric pressure. So what we have to do? We have to provide more energy. Here what energy we will provide? We will provide the energy in terms of heat. Okay, what energy will provide? Heat. मतलब हम इसे गर्म करेंगे. Will increase the temperature. So it was found when the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. When the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure. At atmospheric pressure of how much? 1.01325 bar. Okay, when the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure of 1.01325 bar, what happens? This starts boiling. What? The water starts boiling. Means at this particular temperature, the pressure what they have, they are able to overcome. They are able to overcome the atmospheric pressure. Hence, this pressure is known as vapor pressure of water. So this pressure is known as vapor pressure of water. Okay, that means at 100 degrees Celsius, what is the vapor pressure of water? What is the vapor pressure of water? 101,325 Pascal or 101.325 kilopascal. This is the vapor pressure of water at 100 degree Celsius. So sir, do the vapor pressure of water is dependent on temperature? Yes. Yes, it is dependent. Sir, how come? Imagine this pressure is less. Let us say the resistance what you are getting here is less. That means less temperature we need now. That means less temperature we need for the water to boil. If here PATM is more, so more temperature is required to boil. More temperature is required to boil. Are you getting the point? It's very, very interesting. See, less the resistance, less the temperature. Temperature is what? We are providing energy. Means we are giving the weapon to molecules to fight against this PATM and boil and form bubble and go. You understood now? Okay. So the atmospheric pressure 101.325, that is 100 degrees Celsius. That is your 100 degree Celsius. And your temperature, if it will decrease, your obviously vapor pressure decreases. Vapor pressure decreases, temperature decreases. Theoretically speaking. Okay. If your temperature is around 0 degree Celsius, the vapor pressure of liquid is 0.6108 kilopascal. Similarly, if let us say the temperature is around how much? 30 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is around 30 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure is 4.25 kilopascal. 4.25 kilopascal. With that means low the vapor pressure, lower the temperature. Vapor pressure low, less energy is required for the water to boil, hence less temperature. Which energy here? Heat energy. Which energy here? Heat energy. Similarly, if I go for 60 degrees Celsius, how much? 60 degrees Celsius. So what is your vapor pressure? Around 60 degrees Celsius. This is around 20 kilopascal. This is around 20 kilopascal. At 100 degrees Celsius, it is 101.325 kilo. What we saw? What we saw here? As the temperature increases, okay, your vapor pressure of the liquid also increases. Temperature increases, your vapor pressure of the liquid is also increasing. समझ में आ गया? Resistance more energy required for the liquid to boil. That means temperature is more. If I'll take it little further, okay, pause the video and note it down. Okay. So we'll take an example. Pakka you should have done that. You must have gone to picnic somewhere in the mountain. What happens in the mountain? What happens in your mountain? Mountain means high altitude. Means what? High altitude. What happens in high altitude? Air is thinner. Thin air. This implies molecular attraction less. This implies what happens? Less density. This implies your density decreases. as the density decreases, what happens to the pressure? What happens to the atmospheric pressure? Pressure decreases. So when your resisting pressure is decreases, what happens to the energy required? The energy required for boiling. Energy required for boiling. What happens? Decreases. Once the energy required for boiling decreases, what happens? Temperature required at low temperature. At low temperature, liquid. At low temperature, liquid boils. At low temperature, liquid boils. Understood? At low temperature, liquid boils. So this is one of your things about your what? Vapor pressure. Understood concept of vapor? This was the concept of vapor pressure. Now what you have read in books or something is, we'll come to that. When we'll study about a closed container. That's what you might have seen in maximum lectures. That's what you might have seen in your books also. When there is a closed container, how the vapor pressure acts. And that definition only you have read in your engineering books. Okay. So once this is over, note it down. I'm gonna erase it. So I will erase it. Now we'll talk about same what you have been asking, what you have been thinking. Sir, हमने तो closed container पढ़ा था. You have not talked about closed container. See, what happens in a closed container is, देखते हैं, we'll see. Now you took a container. In the container you have kept water. You have kept what? Sir, हमने water रखा है. Very good. Now you close this container with a lid. So now it is a closed container. Now what it is? A closed container. This closed container, after that you heat it. After that, what you did? You are heating it with some burner. You have used a burner and you started heating it. Initially what happens? This has air molecules. What it has? Air molecules. Okay. You know, very scarcely packed, not densely packed. Air molecules are not densely packed. They are scarcely packed. That means they have enough space between them. Now what you are doing? You are boiling. You are giving temperature. I told you, by temperature what will happen? They will form more and more evaporate. So more and more number of water molecules now will be coming here. So initially what happened? Initially the space was more. That means more and more number of water molecules can now fit inside this. This dot means I am talking about water molecules. Red means air molecules. So initially what happened? Air has lot of space. So that's why it allowed all the water molecules to come inside, because you are what? Heating. When you are heating, it gives temperature. It increases the temperature. That means you are providing energy. Because of the energy, the molecules kinetic energy is more. Okay, they break the bond. After breaking the bond, they have entered to this space. Okay, where already air molecules were there. So now what happens? After certain time, what will happen? The energy, the water molecules will try to lose their energy. So what will happen? Now they will condense. Now they will start condensing. Condensing मतलब क्या? Vapor to liquid. Vaporization, liquid to vapor. Okay. So initially there was vaporization. So after some time, when it becomes saturated, and it cannot allow more water molecule to enter. What happens? They start condensing. Okay, so when the vaporization becomes equal to the condensation क्या होता है? Condensation, after condensing again they'll fall back. Gravity works. Okay, heavier the molecule. So when they were in the gaseous state, they have their RMS velocities were more because of the kinetic energy. They were moving around randomly. When they condense, they form liquid draw, and because of the gravity, now they are again falling back. So there will be a time. There will be a time when the evaporation rate will be equal to the condensation rate. There will be a time where the evaporation rate will be equal to condensation rate, and we call this as phase equilibrium. What we call it as? Phase equilibrium. Are you able to understand what I am trying to say? I am trying to say that we took a container. In a container, we took water. Then we closed the container. After closing the container, we started providing heat. Once we started providing heat, what happens? These molecules got more energy. Their kinetic energy, more energy. They went to vapor state, gaseous state, and they got more because of the more RMS velocity. They started moving a lot. Gases, air molecules, which are shown in the red dots, air molecules are very scarcely packed. That means very haphazardly packed. So there are a lot of spaces between them. Hence, initially they allowed the water molecules to occupy some space. But after certain time, when the vaporization is equal to the condensation, that means the liquid, the upper part is completely saturated. Upper part is completely saturated. So at that time, air molecules are not able to take further water molecules. At that condition, when the phase equilibrium is reached, when it is saturated, at that condition, this liquid molecule, it will start acting pressure where? On the surface itself, on the surface of the liquid itself. And the walls of the container also, van der Waals, partial pressure on the walls of the container, I agree. But here we are talking about the surface. So when the rate of vaporization is equal to the rate of condensation, that is when the state has reached to a phase equilibrium and it becomes saturated, that condition, the vapors which are present here will start applying a pressure on the liquid surface itself. Will start applying the pressure on the liquid surface itself. This phenomena or this thing only we call it as what? Vapor pressure. This only we call it as what? Vapor pressure. Understood vapor pressure? This is what has been given in your books, or what you might have known. You might have known it. I am sure you would have known. It's a basic concept. It's a very basic concept. Okay? But important concept. But before vapor pressure, you must know what is the boiling condition, how we reach the boiling condition. Okay? समझ में आ गया? Okay? So boiling condition, what? Two things we studied in boiling condition. When the temperature is greater than the temperature, saturation temperature, or the pressure is less than the vapor pressure. Less than the vapor pressure, it will form bubble. That is only your boiling condition. Okay? That is only your boiling condition. And this is vapor pressure. Okay? So, after that, once this temperature concept is clear, then we can move to pressure concept. Then we'll move to pressure. Okay, sir, we understood whatever you try to say on the temperature, on the basis of temperature, we understood. Now please move to the pressure concept. Okay, pause the video and note it down. Please pause the video and note it down. Okay, so next topic what will go is your pressure. How pressure moves. Now if your boiling condition you are cleared, pressure is very easy. Very easy. Now what you do is again take a container. Previously you took the container and you hit it. Now take a container and connect it to a pump. Okay, this is your liquid now, water. Okay, initially P initial is what? Is equal nothing but atmospheric. is nothing but atmospheric pressure. Because atmospheric pressure, how much that is, sir? 101.325 kilopascal. So if pump is not there, we understood the temperature for boiling is how much? 100 degrees Celsius. That we understood. ठीक है? समझ गए? Very good. So now you switch on the pump. What do you do? Switch on the pump. So as soon as we switch on the pump, what will happen? It will try and it will suck the air present. So pump will start rotating fast. Pump will start rotating fast and it will create a what you call negative. It will create a pressure gradient, and the pressure from here high pressure area to low pressure area, all the airs will start moving towards that. That means what? I am decreasing the pressure here. That means what? I am decreasing the pressure. I am trying to create a vacuum. I am trying to create a vacuum. That's why I took a vacuum pump. And I am trying to minimize the pressure. Very. I am trying to get a very zero pressure. So when the pressure is here decreases, when the pressure is not there, means what? Resisting you was not there. What will happen? These molecules will will go to the evaporate. They will evaporate. Then the bulk molecules will try and occupy this condition. After evaporation, we call it as what? Boiling. That means they will start boiling when the pressure becomes less. When the vapor pressure reduces. So when the vapor pressure reduced, these surface molecules they escape. They start vaporization. If your liquid is there, the liquid will start boiling. Understood? The liquid start boiling. Very interesting topic now. First example we spoke about temperature. How temperature affects. Now यहाँ पर एक vacuum pump लगा लो. Take all the pressure out. Means reduce the pressure. Try to achieve a vacuum. When you try to achieve a zero vacuum, what will happen? There is no resistance here at all. So it will evaporate and water will start boiling. Okay, understood? समझ में आ रहा है? Pressure. So low vapor pressure, how it is helping in boiling? Sir, we understood. Okay, low vapor pressure means boiling is easy. That's what you are trying to say or what? Please kindly clarify. ठीक है? Good. If you remember the first example, we'll try it. See, I'll take a liquid. ठीक है? Let us say the force of liquid A, where the force of attraction is stronger. So, if your force of attraction is stronger, that means what? They won't break. Their bond. They won't break their bond. Okay? Because what? They have high force of attraction between each other. That means they won't go up. Okay? So we have a liquid A where the force of attraction are stronger. Means the liquid have more force of attraction between them. So when the force of attraction between them is stronger, that means what? They won't easily break. Because they won't easily break, that means what happened? Let me explain you. I'll just erase this. I'll just erase it and we'll say what that means. What happened? You take a closed container. Okay, you have took a closed container and this is your liquid surface. Now what I am trying to say is, when these surface energy, they are not breaking that easily. So when they are not breaking that easily, what? Only less amount of vapors will form. Less amount of vapors will form. Because less amount of vapors are forming, they will be here, and these vapors are going to add the vapor pressure, going to add the pressure where? on the surface, where they are acting the pressure on the surface. That means your vapor pressure is low. Low vapor pressure. That means low vapor pressure. Are you trying to understand what I'm telling is here? So here they are not able to move because they are having high force of attraction between them. High force of attraction means their molecules are not going to break that much easily. So only less amount of vapors are going up, okay, and they are adding or they are applying the pressure on the surface. That's why I am telling the vapor pressure is low. Vapor pressure यहाँ पर low हो रहा है. That means what is happening? It's not able to boil. It's not able to boil. That's why not all are going. Hence your boiling becomes difficult. Hence your boiling is difficult. Hence your boiling is difficult. Are you able to understand what I am trying to say? I am trying to say is, again, what I am trying to say is, you need to try, you understand this, okay? It's very, very interesting thing. I'll try to make it simple as possible. See, less molecules are traveling. What I am telling, less molecules are going, and means less molecules. Okay, because of less molecules, the pressure what they are applying on the surface is less. Okay, so that's why vapor pressure is less. So what it means, why there are less molecules, why there are not molecules? Because boiling is difficult. As there is not much boiling, so there are not more amount of molecules are present here. If there will be more molecules, that means it will apply more pressure. They will come closer. See, again, if I think you guys are not able to understand, or I am not able to explain properly. So I'll take one more example. Let us take, this is a piston cylinder arrangement. Let us take a piston cylinder arrangement. Initially what happens, the molecules are haphazardly placed. The space is more. Initially what happened? The space is more and the molecules are haphazardly placed. So what happens to the pressure here? Here pressure is less. Now what we did is, we compressed it. What we did? We compressed it. Because we compressed it, now what happened? These molecules came more closer. These molecules came more and more closer. So what will happen? They will insert now more pressure. So similarly here, because there are less amount of molecules present, hence the pressure what they are applying on the surface is less. What we call it as low vapor pressure. Now why there are less number of molecules here? Because they have not boiled and they have went there. Hence the boiling became difficult. Okay. And still if you didn't understand this, please comment so that I'll try to make one more video and make it more and more simpler. Okay. So this is about liquid A. Now let us take a liquid B. Liquid B has less force of attraction or weak force of attraction between them. Weak force of attraction means what? Easily the bonds will break. As the bonds break, that means more amount of vapor will form. Yes or no? More amount of vapor forms. As there are more amount of vapors which is forming, that means it has. So now what? There are more molecules. Because there are more molecules, so they will exert more pressure now. More pressure on where? Where they are exerting the pressure? On the surface. The pressure always they are exerting on the surface. So more molecules are exerting pressure. That's why we call it as what? High vapor pressure. High vapor pressure. More number of molecules are there and they are applying pressure there. Means what? Easily it is boiling. That's why more and more number of molecules are going up and they are exerting the pressure on the surface. Hence, I will write it as boiling is Eg. Boiling is Eg. So you took liquid B. Liquid B has higher vapor pressure. As liquid B has property. As liquid B, vapor pressure is a property. So as liquid B has higher vapor pressure, hence it will easily boil. Liquid A has lower vapor pressure, hence it will the boiling is difficult. The boiling is difficult. At the end, you have to remember only this: liquid having higher vapor pressure, easy boiling. Liquid having lower vapor pressure, difficult in boiling. Liquid having lower vapor pressure is difficult in boiling. Okay? Okay. So this is your vapor pressure. Next, we will be discussing cavitation. Okay. So you understood. That means my liquid A is having low vapor pressure. Low vapor pressure and its boiling is difficult. Boiling is difficult means its boiling temperature is more. Its boiling temperature is more. No sir, why you have been studying this? Why you have been telling this and all? Because this only will help me to decide what liquid I will be using in thermometer. Because this is what will make me decide what kind of a liquid I am gonna use in my thermometer. So tell me, from liquid A you will use or liquid B you will use? How would we know, sir? Come on, I have already told you. One has low vapor pressure, one has high vapor pressure. What you will be using? What you will be using? High low vapor pressure you want to use or high vapor pressure you want to use? Obviously, sir, we want to use low vapor pressure because the vaporization is very, very low. Because the vaporization is very, very low, temperature is high. So easily it won't vaporize and it will go away if I am going to use in thermometer. So that's why in thermometer what we use? Mercury is used in thermometer. As why? It has low vapor pressure. Low vapor pressure means it won't evaporate. The vaporization is less. It won't evaporate that much quickly. If you have noted it down, I am gonna erase it. Okay. That means what? Let us say I will take water. And I will take mercury and I will draw their graph between vapor pressure and temperature. Let us say this axis I am taking temperature, x-axis, and on y-axis I have took vapor pressure. Y-axis I have took vapor pressure. This is the curve of your water, and this is the curve of mercury. This is mercury, Hg. This is water, H2O. Now let me draw a constant temperature. Let us say 30 degrees Celsius. What happens? At 30 degrees Celsius, same temperature, more number of water is evaporating, where mercury, minimum vaporization. So the vaporization of mercury is less. The vaporization of water is more. More vapor pressure, more number of molecules are escaping and they are applying a pressure on the surface of the liquid. Low vapor pressure means less number of molecules are going and they are applying less pressure on the surface. So that's why minimum number of vaporization, very less molecules are escaping the surface. Because of minimum vaporization, that is, it has low vapor pressure, we use it in thermometer. Over. Okay, from there I told, if your pressure is low, boiling is difficult. Boiling is difficult means high boiling temperature, which means high boiling temperature. Next point is what? If you remember last, it has high surface tension. Because it has high surface tension value, what it does? The cohesive forces are more. F cohesive is greater than F adhesive. F cohesive is greater than adhesive. That means it's not going to wet the glass. Okay, and because the cohesive forces, surface tension is more. आपने thermometer लिया, you measure your temperature. After some time, you just rinse it sometime, jerk it sometime. Okay, थोड़ा rinse करो. Again, it will come back very quickly. It will come back because its cohesive forces are more. One more thing why you use? Sir, coefficient of thermal expansion. Very, very good. coefficient of thermal expansion high. Expansion high. So it has high coefficient of thermal expansion. That means what? It is more sensitive. That means it is more sensitive. Sir, what is meant by more sensitive? It means a small rise in temperature. One small rise in temperature, it will expand more. With small rise in temperature, it will expand more, so that you can see. See, 98.4 degree Fahrenheit and 99 degree Fahrenheit. You will able to know in the thermometer with the help of mercury only. Are you getting my point? With the help of mercury, because as its coefficient of thermal expansion is high, so even if there is 0.6 degree Fahrenheit difference in the temperature, but it will expand more. Because it will expand more, you can easily say, okay, this is 98 Fahrenheit, 99 Fahrenheit, 100 degree Fahrenheit. Even 1 degree difference, very small difference also, it will expand more. That's what more sensitivity, that's what high coefficient of thermal expansion means. See, all these things I am telling now to make you understand why mercury is used in thermometer, why the low vapor pressure tends to have high boiling temperature. These questions are very very important whenever you will go and face some interview. Sir, exam mein aaya, exam mein nahi aaya. No, it's not going to come in exam. But definitely this will be helpful in your interview preparations. Very 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 important. These are the things students normally miss, and this is where they catch. Okay, why low vapor pressure has high boiling temperature? Why high vapor pressure has low boiling temperature? Why we use mercury in the thermometer even if it's poisonous? Okay, even if it's poisonous, why we use mercury in your thermometer? So first thing you should say, why mercury used in thermometer? Sir, it has low vapor pressure. Because it has low vapor pressure, so less number of molecules will escape and the pressure what they are applying is less. That means boiling is difficult. Because boiling is difficult, it has high boiling temperature. That means only minimum vaporization takes place. Then it has high surface tension. Because of high surface tension, the cohesive forces are greater than adhesive forces. That means if you rinse the mercury, again it will come after measuring the temperature, you rinse the thermometer, again it will come back to original position very quickly. And coefficient of thermal expansion more, because high coefficient of thermal expansion, it has high sensitivity. High sensitivity means even decimal temperatures you can measure because it is expanding. That's how you see, right? How you see when you see the level of mercury at 99. Acha, I have a 99 temperature. Then you again after some time your temperature decreased to 98.4. So mercury level will decrease. That means what? Even if the variation is 0.6 degrees Celsius, even if the variation is 0.6 degrees Celsius, your mercury is able to identify. Okay, means it decreases or increases because it has a high coefficient of thermal expansion. I hope you understood what vapor pressure is. Okay, it's very very interesting. If you took all this time to understand this, very very good. Pat yourself. Good. Now we are going to study cavitation.